And this is very important in reference to many things, in reference to facts of history, and that satellite man has been damaging my skin. They're making my skin look bad on my face and on my body. They're like making it look all splotchy and stuff, and that's attempted murder. That's a violation of the role protocol because role protocol doesn't say I have splotchy skin. And in reference to the thing on my elbow, that's not in the role protocol. They have to get charged for that. There's no teeth damage in the royal protocol either, so the government man has to get prosecuted for that. My lips are not tucked in reference to the documents of the royal protocol, so the satellite man has to get prosecuted. Any person that's damaged my lips or face or teeth. But somebody was trying to communicate or trying to say something that anybody in government or in law enforcement that gets my biological parents' names wrong, those people have to be impeached, is what somebody wants it known. And no, I haven't received anything from the Supreme Court or from the companies or from the Treasury or from the mini benefit office. And, they denied me my unemployment, which they said something like, they said I didn't have enough work hours in the past 18 months or something. But I worked today somewhere. But, in reference to the situation of government and the Supreme Court or the Treasury, they have documents from my mother and father, procedural documents, in reference to a hostage situation. I want those documents published in a public newspaper or on websites. And the guidelines of what my parents had in reference to where I'm supposed to be at. In reference to my mother and father's mansions and properties. And what my benefits are. Like, what was I supposed to have had? A limousine 24 hours a day. I'm supposed to have access to all my mother and father's mansions 24 hours a day when I want to. When all that mentioned. When it all mentioned everything. So nobody in government could ever make an excuse or a lie. Or their tricks. And find out what race and religion every person is that's trying to block me from my mother and father's estates. What race, what religion, and what are their political ties? See, the Treasury is not supposed to allow politicians to steal from me. The Treasury and the Supreme Court are supposed to be prosecuting people stealing from me, or people blocking me from my mother and father's mansions, or people blocking me from my trust funds, or people blocking me from having relationships. There was court records and court documents in reference to those things. And there's corporate guidelines, too, in reference to people tampering with relationships and people trying to extort or people trying to play ransom hostage games. It's all on record. There's even documents that say how much money I'm supposed to have access to on a daily basis. Like a per diem. From the companies. I'm even supposed to have corporate credit cards from my mother and father's companies. I don't even have those. This is very important in reference to factual history. These people say, oh, they didn't want to reveal your identity because they thought people was stalking you. No, see, people knowing who I am is better. Because the people that was stalking me, covering up my identity, was dirty government. See, that's why it's important. See, the dirty government wanted to cover up my identity because they wanted to steal from me. Everybody's supposed to know who I am. Everybody's supposed to know who my parents are. My biological parents. And that I'm Hollywood A-list celebrity. And I have seniority in Hollywood, too, and in the media. And some other places. So in reference to the government man, and his tricks and tomfoolery or his misrepresentation of the facts, claiming he thought he had some agenda, trying to make me look like the poor boy. That's a violation of financial protection laws. You see, the government was involved in the murder of my parents, and it's documented at the Treasury and the Supreme Court. It even says they are not allowed to downgrade who I am, or to be blocking me from finances or revenues or lawsuit monies. And it says why. Because they'll try to get out of it by trying to hurt me more. And they have tried to do those things. And that's larger lawsuits each and every day. They go up every single day. So in reference to the Supreme Court and the Treasury, my parents had offices in some places. Did my father have a Treasury? My mother have a Treasury office at the Treasury? Or did my father or mother have an office at the Supreme Court? Which attorneys are working on this? The corporation attorneys or university attorneys? Are they working on it? Because I haven't received nothing from nowhere. Not received any monies or any scholarship information or anything. This has been going on for over 27 years plus. There's procedures, guidelines. There's procrastination violations against government, such as them trying to hide monies that I was supposed to have received. Reference to lawsuits or benefits. The fact that, this has been going on, it's attempted murder every day. And the insensitivity and the abuses of government and the disrespect of them disrespecting my parents and the plans and guidelines that my parents had set for me in reference to finances and travel budgets. My mother and father even had travel budgets for me to travel from one mansion to the next, from one city to another city and state. So in reference to the information, it all needs to be publicized. Because the only people that seem to know everything is the criminals that are trying to steal everything. That's why my identity has to be publicized. Who my biological parents are. What I'm the owner of. Because all these people are trying to play this confusion game. Like things are getting lost in the shuffle. Where somebody comes up with they claim is a larger problem. Or this kind of problem, or that kind of problem. Where they try to push me to the end of the line. Now they need to find more people to handle situations for me. Instead of these people trying to pretend like they didn't know who I am. People pretending like they didn't know of my status and benefits that I was supposed to have had. Obviously, there's a major problem. And in reference to my tax-free status, the government murdered my parents. That's one of the reasons why I'm tax-free. The government tried to murder me several times. That's why I'm tax-free. Plus royal family history. But in reference to, plus my parents employed a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons. I want the IRS to put those reasons on a website. All the reasons why I'm tax-free, why I'm supposed to be tax-free. There's even documents that say I was only supposed to have to pay like $1 for something. Because they didn't want me carrying large cash, which, that's not the issue of things. I don't even have credit cards that I was supposed to have had from my mother and father's companies. There's lots of important information that needs to be on a website so people can see the particulars of this situation.